The new teacher, a kind teacher, starts work at a small school. It was a bright morning in a quiet village. The little school stood at the end of a narrow road. Children ran through the gate, laughing and talking. Some carried old school bags, and some held books in their hands. The school was small, with only a few classrooms, but it was full of life and energy. Everyone was excited because a new teacher was coming to work that day. Her name was Miss Sarah. She was a young teacher with kind eyes and a warm smile. She had just finished her training, and this was her first job. She felt a little nervous, but she was also happy because she wanted to teach children and help them learn. As she walked to the school, she looked around at the green fields and tall trees. The air was fresh, and the sound of birds made her heart calm. When Miss Sarah entered the schoolyard, the children stopped and looked at her. Some whispered to each other, "Is she the new teacher?" Others smiled shyly. Miss Sarah waved and said, "Good morning, everyone." Her voice was soft but clear. The children felt her kindness, and they smiled back. In the staff room, the head teacher, Mr. Ali, welcomed her. He was an old man with gray hair and gentle manners. "We are happy to have you here, Miss Sarah," he said. "The children need a teacher like you." Miss Sarah thanked him and felt a little more confident. Her first class was with the youngest children. They sat quietly at their wooden desks, waiting. Miss Sarah wrote her name on the board. "Miss Sarah," she turned to the class and said, "I am your new teacher. I want to learn with you, and I want us to be friends." The children listened carefully. Some of them looked nervous, but when she smiled, they felt safe. She started with a simple game. She asked each child to say their name and something they liked. "My name is Amina, and I like apples," said one girl. "My name is Hamid, and I like football," said a boy. Miss Sarah laughed and clapped for each child. Soon the room was full of laughter, and the children forgot their fear. Every day, Miss Sarah taught with patience and love. She used stories, pictures, and songs. She helped the slow learners without making them feel bad, and she encouraged the clever ones to help their friends. Sometimes she read short stories aloud, and the children listened with shining eyes. Other times she took them outside to learn about trees, flowers, and the sky. The children began to love school more than before. They came early in the morning because they wanted to see their teacher. They talked about her at home and told their parents how kind she was. Parents in the village noticed the change. Their children were happy, and they were learning better than before. But not everything was easy. Some days the children were noisy and did not listen. Sometimes Miss Sarah felt tired because the classroom was small and hot. She missed her family in the city, and at night she sometimes felt lonely. But she remembered why she came, to give her best to the children. That thought gave her strength. One day, a little boy named Bilal came to school with sad eyes. He sat quietly and did not open his book. Miss Sarah went to him and asked gently, "What is wrong, Bilal?" He whispered, "I have no pencil. My father cannot buy one." Miss Sarah felt tears in her eyes. She gave him one of her pencils and said, "Now you have one. You can keep it." Bilal's face lit up with joy. From that day, he always tried his best in class. The weeks passed, and the school felt different. The walls looked brighter, the children's voices sounded happier, and even the old head teacher smiled more often. Miss Sarah's kindness touched everyone. She was not only a teacher of books, but also a teacher of hope and love. At the end of the term, the children prepared a small surprise for her. They made drawings, wrote simple words, and sang a song. When Miss Sarah entered the classroom, they all shouted, "Thank you, Miss Sarah." She was so moved that she could not speak for a moment. She looked at their happy faces and felt her heart grow warm. She said, "You are wonderful children. I am so proud of you. Always remember to be kind and to help each other." The children clapped, and some even hugged her. That evening, as the sun went down behind the hills, Miss Sarah walked home with a peaceful heart. She knew she had chosen the right path. She was not just teaching in a small school. She was building dreams in young minds, and she knew that one smile, one kind word, or one small act of help could change a child's life forever. And so the story of the new teacher was not only about teaching lessons in books, but also about teaching lessons in kindness, patience, and love.